everybody. It's day 3 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And I'm not going to lie, I saw this sketch and I was like, man, this is hard. And it's only day 3 because it's really outside my norm. Let me kind of show you the sketch. And I apologize. I'm so sorry. I don't remember whose sketch this is. It'll be in there'll be a playlist, and I'll remember to put it on there somewhere. I think it says Jay Bartow, I think. Barlow, maybe. Anyway, I'll try to make sure I put it down below. But basically, she's kind of got this. Okay, you got a 4x6 photo. She's nice enough to give the photo sizes, which is cool. Although, to be fair, I don't know that I'm using exactly those sizes, but I'm going to try to do something kind of. But what was throwing me off was this kind of organic shape, right? Around behind the pictures. I guess you could do maybe a wood grain or something if there was like a slice, you know, where you might see the wood circles or something like that might be neat. That threw me off a little bit. And then also kind of these like, what do you call that? Swirly work. I don't know what this could be. I just had an idea actually. I may know what this could be. But there's kind of this embellishment cluster with these kind of things going across, strands of things. And this embellishment cluster up here. The tag's not a big deal. Title, that's all kind of good and fine. But I'm telling you, that organic thing really threw me off. And then I had an idea. And let me see. Let me set this stuff aside. Because I thought, oh, I think I'll get this pad, right? And so I have this pad here that I got. I don't know where I got this, unless it was Tuesday morning, I think. And it's all this kind of alcohol ink background. So I thought, okay, maybe I have something in there. So I went through. Now, they're not going to be exactly like this, but I was like, okay, there's kind of some opportunity here for it to look kind of like that. All right, so I thought this one's one, but I ended up deciding on this pink one. I thought this was really pretty, and it kind of went a little bit with my December 2022 hip kit. There's some little pinks and stuff in there, and actually what really struck me was this little grid paper here. I really like this with this. So that was pretty. And then I had in my little bowl over here another little grid deal that has a little poem kind of thing on it. And I'm thinking, well, that could be cute. I don't know how I'm going to do it this quite yet, but I think. And there was ephemera. I've already gone through them and kind of pulled out some stuff I think might work. So I've set it aside over here because those can work here. And I just had an idea about the strands of things. I'll do that in a second. And then I printed out this is the 4x6. I think this will be my 3x4. Here's my 4x3. Oops, sorry about that, y'all. And I'll have to mat those, you know. But I think those are cute. And my thinking is instead of a photo, I'm going to use this little poem thing here. And then the tricky part is this journaling card. I have to figure something out. I gotta work with this, y'all. So that's where I'm starting. I have not figured out my title. However, I do have these cool little font. Look at that. Is that not the cutest, this little bit? Oh, and it's kind of an ombre. Starts off kind of peachy and goes to pink, which is perfect with this. So I've got to figure out a cute little title. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google something. And then there's all these little stars and dots, too. So this is a great little font. So I think I can use that. And there's still these chipboard, like, frames and stuff. Technically, this doesn't call for frames, so I'm going to have to see about that. But I do like this little pink and orange plaid one. So, and then there's some cute little phrases in here, I think, that might work. Don't know for sure, because it is kind of geared toward New Year's. But let me get into that. I'm going to start cutting stuff up. I may have to mount this because this is a little bit thin. So I may end up with oh, my cat's running. She's got the zoomies, y'all. I'm going to try to put this maybe on like a cream colored background. That could be pretty. Or like this, I don't know if I have anything in this shade, but this is a real pretty little peach color almost. So let me see what I can find, and I'll come back on shortly. I will eat me a snack, actually. It's about that time, 2 o'clock. I'm working from home today, y'all, so playing a little bit of hooky for about an hour. Don't tell nobody. All right, I'll come back on a second. Okay, y'all, real quick check-in because I'm so proud of myself. I found these 2 little, I'm going to use one as photo mats, so I pulled out 2. This really pretty peachy color, and I think it looks really pretty with that paper. And I found in my stash, and I apologize, the packaging, but the label's not on here. I don't know whose this was, but I've had it for years because I have a big old bucket of these little jewel deals. And this is a strand. It's a self-adhesive strand, and it's in the yellow. Y'all, I think that's going to be so pretty, is those little strands of things. I'm kind of excited. I was scared. So my advice to you is face your fears when it comes to scrapbooking. Embrace the unusual. You know what I mean? I'm really excited to see how this comes together. So let me get to trimming and cutting just real quickly before I come back on with all the laying and decorating and all the things. Okay? Talk soon. All right, gang, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is a layout that I would have done given my own devices without a sketch, but I think this looks so cool when I got done with it. So what I've done so far is I have matted the photos in that peach cardstock I showed you, and I did double mat the main photo with that little grid paper. And so I've taken those photos. I did, yes, I've already scuffed the edges too. That's the other thing. So I just matted and scuffed. That's all I've done. I did also mat that alcohol ink background on that other peach sheet. So I've kind of got that base piece kind of set up. And I'm just kind of organizing these things. And why I sit and fiddle with them for as long as I do is beyond me. But the other thing I did is I got into my stash and I had a piece of cardstock, kind of a hot pink, or not really a hot pink, that's really wrong. It was a Stampin' Up color, and I want to say it was something called berry, something berry. It's a pink, and it kind of went, I thought, with that background, the darker pink on the little alcohol ink background. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to use that as my tag. And then I decided, okay, I've glued down the top photo and the little poem. I think it's a poem. I don't know what it is. It says, if you can't see it, I'm going to read it to you real quick so you can know what it says. But it says, hold hands every chance you can. Be the best you can be. Marry your best friend. Listen, hug often. Be the first to say, I'm sorry. Kiss good morning. Kiss and make up. Kiss just because. Always be willing to compromise. Respect one another. Be a team player. Remember why you fell in love. Don't forget to laugh and love each other. I guess it's not really a poem. It's more like a list, isn't it? Anyways, I have that on the bottom, and then I did put foam underneath the little picture in the middle that's just our faces up close, and I put foam underneath the 4x6. It just kind of screamed to me that you need to kind of make those stand out just a little bit. And so I've got my little SketchUp over there because I'm trying to make sure what I'm doing here makes some sense. And I know I'm going to put those strands, but I got to figure out the little embellishment clusters. And I've got those ephemera up there that I pulled out. The bottom kind of comes together a little bit easy because I do have like a little thing. This is party time. Just a little circle worked out good. And then there's a you and me. The upper left threw me off just a little bit because I was thinking, okay, what can I use up there? And I had that ephemera sitting there. So I pulled initially this little phone out. But it says something like good vibes or relaxing vibes or something like that. And I wasn't really sure. And plus I didn't have anything else to kind of go with it. So I looked on the little chipboard set. And just nothing was really speaking to me. So I stopped messing with that for just a second. I think we all do that. When we're not really sure what we want to do, we go to something we know we do want to do. And I knew I wanted to take these little yellow self-adhesive pearls and use those as my little strands. And I'm actually so pleased with this because it did look like the little strands. And I've used something I've had in my stash forever and a day. So this was a successful idea. I'm going to call it a successful idea. You can see I'm kind of messing around with this strand to make it look the same. Now, I will tell you, my title ends up in a little bit different spot. It's close to it, but not the same exact way. Because after I kind of assemble everything, I almost forgot the title, if I'm 100% honest with y'all. I had put some stuff on there, and I started to do. I think I'm done. And I was, oh, crap, I don't got a title. So that threw me off just a minute, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm kind of making my strands work out. I'm trying to make them look like they're droopy, you know, like a little, I thought of the word, by the way, it's swag. It's swag. I want to make sure it looks kind of like a little swag. So, and luckily there's 4 good sized ones. I think they're 12 inches long, actually. I know I have more in my bucket over there, too. Actually, this is the second time in the recent past I have pulled something out of my little jewel bucket over there that I don't usually touch at all. It's funny how when you stick stuff in a little storage area, unless something bubbles up on either a little challenge or something, it's like you just kind of forget about it. I do. I don't know about y'all, but this second time I pulled something out that I hadn't used in years. Actually, that's a lie. I pulled out there. That was a little tool I pulled out the other day. It was a little Stampin' Up paper piercing tool, and I hadn't used it in 100 years either. So I'm making some progress with using my stuff. I'm really proud. All right, so what I did do in the middle there, so my little embellishment cluster, like I said, it has that little party time. It has that little round circle. And right now it has you and me on there. I will find some more ephemera in a minute because, like I said, I've that upper left corner there is kind of throwing me off because I don't love that phone, but I don't know yet what I want. So I'm going to put my couple little strands down here because I know that's got to go there. And I'm kind of looking at the sketch to figure out what directions they need to go and all that. So I'm going to have to piece this together. I have a little extra piece there, but you can't even tell. And that looks pretty cute. I'm like, okay, so if I put this phone here, is that going to look right? And I'm like, not loving it, right? Try a few little black and white pieces. Nothing, no, not loving that either. So I decide, what do I decide to do? Do I glue them other ones down there at the bottom yet? Where's my hands, y'all? Oh, I went to get my bucket. So this is where I have a whole bunch of old Hip Kit stuff. This is my little bucket of Hip Kit leftovers, right? And actually maybe even some cocoa vanilla stuck in there, but they kind of go together. And I find this little speech bubble that says keeping it real, and I was happy with this because it's a kind of the peachy color. And I go, oh, there you are. That's the thing. That is the thing I need right there. And then I have that little word that says love it. Now that was in the original ephemera kit, or the original ephemera, but I like that together. So I'm really happy with that. And I'm kind of poking around through here. Is there anything else I want? I do find a little black and white butterfly to go down over that little set down there at the bottom. And I thought about some more stuff up at the top. There's a little butterfly on that little circle deal there, but I just couldn't make it do what it just didn't look right to me. So he comes off, and I don't have that. So I'm going to end up in a second using some foam tape to put behind it. And I don't know, I just start gluing stuff down. That's really all I'm going to do in the way of embellishments. So I'll just tell you real quickly about the photos. So the photos are, of course, me and my husband, which is kind of the point of the little list of things. I'll do a journaling on here. Greg is my partner in crime for everything in life, my ride or die. And basically, these are like events that we go to. I've mentioned a few times here that we do Herbalife, and he tags along because he likes the stories, and he loves to hear the people that, you know, have come from humble beginnings and they've become really successful. He loves those stories. So he comes along with me. Plus, we get to spend the day together, and we usually do lunch and just have a nice time. And many times, if I'm honest, my daughter comes with us. So it's always kind of a fun time. Just spending time together. So I really enjoy that. And I'm looking to see what else I'm doing here. I think I've done my little foam tape. I've glued my stuff down. I think this is maybe where I decide I need to journal. And I get a white pen. I think it's called Estera or something. And I do the outline around the tag first because it looks a little unfinished to me. And so I get that on there, and that looks really good. And then I think, oh, okay, I'm going to journal on here. And I choose the 0.8 pen, and I feel like I should have chosen the 0.6 because I'm trying to write. And honestly, you'll see in a second, it tends to skip a lot. And I think it's because, well, I don't use that size as much as I use the other one. So maybe it's just kind of dried up in there a little bit. I'm not really sure. It's okay. It works out. I mean, I'm able to kind of go back over it. And y'all, sorry about the head, but I have to look over to see what I'm writing. And I just write, like I said, Greg's my partner in crime and everything. So I'll write all this, and then I'll think, oh, I'm done. And and I'll start to pick myself up because, as you guys can see, I've got a bunch of stuff strode around right there. I can't work with the stuff all in my way all the time. That just drives me a little bit bananas. So I do pick up between projects. Sometime halfway through a project, I'll put stuff away. I can't function with all that stuff in the way. So I got all of it done. I'm looking and going, okay, I think I'm done. And then I went, oh, crap, I don't have a title. So that's when I decided to pull out my little font there, and I name it Partner. And I'm really pleased with this font because it's kind of fun looking, a little bit casual in a sense. Like it's got this fun little, I have to tell you, the R's are what attracts me, the R and the T, and I don't really know why. But I'll spell out the word partner. I will adjust it because I'm a little too far to the right. And so you'll see me kind of lay it down, and then I'm going to shift it over to the left just a little bit. And once I get partner stuck down there and then put in the right spot there, that is all I'm going to do this layout. I thought about sprinkling white paint or something on it, but I thought, no, Christine, this whole background has already got a lot going on. Looks like a ton of mixed media. So that's all I'm going to do this layout. And that is day 3, y'all. Make sure you check out the list, the little playlist. There's usually a ton of people playing along. And the first few days, you know, you gotta stay on top of it or you'll miss out. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.